Hey, what's going on, guys? Good evening to all of you in the UK. Good afternoon if you're from North America, like I am. Shout out to each and every one of you watching on Twitter or watching on YouTube. We are live today to cover the Chelsea versus Arsenal. It is war, literally, at the London Stadium, in London at Stamford Bridge. Not the London Stadium, Stamford Bridge. We're going to, not far from us, but is London red or is London blue? I have two, soon to be three, Chelsea fans who I call sensible joining me on my panel today. I'll just add them now and we'll get straight into this preview. So, Uncle Justers, Jared, it's been a while since I've had you on the panel and since I've had a show with you or a podcast. But Uncle Justers, welcome to my channel.
Thank you for having me. How are you been?
I've been great, Jared. Hopefully Arsenal do better because it's been we're in the trenches right now. And I know you guys are loving every bit of it. Now here goes to my friend Carlito. We argue every single day. And I told him specifically, don't give me your lineup until the preview. And what does he do? Here, Melina, I'm going to give you my lineup. Carlito, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I keep equating Mikel Arteta to a historical great American novel. He's been mopey lately, so he's Mopey Dick for me. He's been moping around, you know. He's wearing his clogs. He's answering the door, like, you know, in his underpants and in a really old robe. You know, I mean, like, he probably hasn't showered in 3 days, but really, he's just Mopey Dick. He's moping.
Hi, Gooner Matters. Carlito, I know you can't stand Saka. You always got Saka's name in your mouth, and you said Saka, the amount of crosses we had against Inter Milan put you to sleep. With that being said, Chelsea just beat Noah's Ark and sent them sailing 8-0. And Enzo Fernandez, looks like Enzo Fernandez found his level finally.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to get straight into this preview. This is a big game for us, and more importantly, a must-win game for us, considering the fact that Bournemouth beat us at our own level, which is set pieces, and against Newcastle, we can't get the back of the net. Seems like I'm saying this like a broken record. Jared, thanks for offloading Sterling to us as if we needed that to add to our problems.
Hey, you're welcome. You know, you can't be an Indian giver and give him back either. You got to keep him.
What a way to start a preview. But guys, I'm gonna go to my two Chelsea friends here, Ryan and Jared. I want to hear first, no excuses from you guys when we're coming to the bridge on Cole Palmer and Jadon Sancho's availability. As you guys know, Enzo Maresca came out today and spoke about Cole Palmer, saying that I think there's one more training session tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Whether Palmer will train or not is still up in thin air. Ryan is certain that Palmer will play. Jared, what about you?
Yeah, I think Cole Palmer 100% starts. Yeah, I think this is a little bit of the dark arts. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's the dark arts for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I will let Carlito speak on Sancho's availability because he actually has news on that.
Yeah.
Ryan, take it away.
Okay, so spoke with someone that knows some people, that knows some things. Sancho's injured. So whether that
unavailable until the international break.
Well, hold on, Melina. Let's relax on that, because the initial comments that Maresca made were that he had been ill for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Conveniently, he has been unavailable since the new Call of Duty has been released. Do with that what you will. I don't play video games, but this is what I've heard. Word on the street.
If you're watching this Call of Duty, you know where to find me.
And so Molina had initially said, "Oh, Sancho, if he's not playing Sunday, he'll be out till the international break," which is fine. But this is a fresh knock. This is after Maresca said those words, so this is new. Now I don't know why these guys communicate cryptically through social media, but this morning he showed a picture of him getting electronic stimulation on his quad while he was sitting in the PT room. And it's like, okay, Jadon, can you give us anything else? Or are you just going to show us a picture of your quad getting stim in the PT room. Okay, great, got it. Yeah, he's injured. If he plays, it'll be a cameo role, but he's not going to start. Madueke, Neto, take it away.
So you have Madueke over Mudryk?
I
Mudryk played
don't,
90.
but I know that the coach does. I don't have him over Mudryk, or I don't
Jared?
have. No.
Oh no, Mudryk played 90. If you played 90 on Thursday, you're not going to play on Sunday. Start.
So that means Felix is out and Mudryk is out from the starting.
Yeah, they're not going to start.
And Enzo is a bench player talking like a starter, if we're being honest.
Yep.
Well, some opinions could be opinions and not facts.
Well, Jared.
Jared's so sensitive about this. He's so sensitive.
No, well, look, I think that Enzo's not going to start. It's going to be Lavia and Caicedo.
Of course. Yeah, that's your stronger midfield.
Defensively, yes. Offensively, no.
So
we have to do that because we have these morons playing center back paired with his idiot in goal. So you have to play a heavy defensive midfield to cover for us.
So can we talk about Jared's comment just now? Because I believe that same goalkeeper won goalkeeper of the month today, if I'm not mistaken, Jared.
I think that same goalkeeper just got called up to Spain.
That's great.
Any comments, Jared?
Bozo moments
Chelsea
galore.
keep winning awards right, left, and center, but
Great.
Jared seems to have very opposing views.
No, he's a very good shot stopper, but right here, he's got the problem right here. Sometimes he has to do a disconnect. His passing accuracy is not great, and he tends to he tends to spend too much time on the ball. So he invites pressure and then doesn't deal with it very well. And again, depending on if you're playing against a team that's going to sit back, no worries. If you're gonna play against a team that's going to press you high, you better have somebody that's very accurate and doesn't, mess around with the ball. And he's, multiple times this year he's cost us because of his poor passing out of the back, and that goes for everybody in defense.
I also think it could have been your defenders, right?
Your center backs. We don't have anybody. Okay, there is no best center back on Chelsea Football Club. I said it in a tweet.
Well,
we have no ones. We have no ones, but we have a bunch of twos, number twos, and I mean literally number twos, as in they're dog crap.
This guy with his dad jokes.
Yeah,
well, that's being too harsh on Malagusto and
center backs.
Well, yeah, you can say so. Number twos. All right, fine. In terms of Arsenal's injury updates, guys, Ryan asked me about, I think it was Marty, he asked me about Declan Rice. Yeah. Jared, earlier today we spoke about this off air. Declan Rice broke his toe against Newcastle. To me, Arteta has said he hasn't trained yet, which is a bit worrying, because the downgrade from Declan Rice is Ethan Nwaneri or former Chelsea player Jorginho. That's right, another former Chelsea player.
My God.
Or at the moment, he's going to be assessed if he can play tomorrow in the training session. Then they'll decide whether they're going to start him or not. In my opinion, I think he's going to take anesthesia and continue to play this game. It's crucial we have him for this game. I don't want him to hide from the Caicedo test. I think Rice can handle Caicedo well. I know you guys are going to grill me for this, but in my combined 11, we're going to see whether we're going to put Caicedo in there or Declan Rice. Caicedo is a player that Chelsea fans are really happy with so far this season. And unbiasedly, I'm going to say he's had a good season so far. And he's got a lot of scrutiny under his belt when he first signed for you guys.
Well, I tell you, the first thing I would do if Rice starts, I would figure out which foot he's favoring.
Yep.
And go after it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's the way the game is played.
That's not dark arts. Come
Jared,
on, you guys are taking.
Oh, that's definitely dark arts. Jared, this is the classic Gen Z response. They're human beings. Don't do that. They're human beings. No, Jared, you know what I'm doing? I'm stomping on that foot.
every chance I get, I'm stepping back on it. So yeah, every chance.
Absolutely.
That's like that's what you do. If you're talking about it's war, you find the enemy's weak spot and you exploit it.
Tap dance like Chris Breezy on that, man. Get out of here.
I can't believe someone just put Chalobah in Chelsea's golden era conversations and Zuma. Oh my days.
Yeah.
We used to have Zuma conversations back on Worldwide Chelsea. And
wow. I mean,
those were the days, guys.
They know we. This ain't French class. What is all this we business? We weren't there. Me and Jared were not in those conversations.
Look at Coach. Coach says, "Oh, Coach, you're so sweet." He said, "You can't bring anybody up you see on a panel." I think that's to both of you guys.
No, this is this jabroni's problem. He loves Chalobah. He loves Enzo. He is an enemy of progress. This Chelsea perspective, jabron. Enemy of progress.
And big up Anthony. I'm gonna go also to talk about Odegaard. You guys asked me whether Odegaard's gonna play. As you guys saw against Inter Milan, which we didn't really have a good game. The handball gave Inter Milan the win at the San Siro. Odegaard came on for the last 5 minutes of the game because Havertz had a head gushing injury where he needed stitches at full time. If that didn't happen, Odegaard wasn't going to come on. There was no intention to bring him on in that game. Yes, I did reiterate the importance of match fitness for someone who's coming back from a major injury for 2 months. Arguably, and I would say it's without a doubt Arsenal's best player, our attacking creative midfielder. Arsenal are stunk up in terms of no creativity, shot for creativity, whether it be our midfield or any attacker in forward line, without Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard gets the game going, gets the ball ticking, brings creativity, and if he doesn't start this game against Chelsea, we might as well just throw away the game right now. That's how I'm saying it. Because the drop-off between Odegaard, and no disrespect to Ethan Nwaneri, who is an academy kid, we have been missing Odegaard in this team really badly, like Chelsea missing Champions League this season.
Okay. I agree with you, Molina. I think Martin Odegaard is one of the best players in the Premier League. Jared does not, but I do. I am an expert when it comes to analyzing attacking midfielders, and he is right there at the top. It is a position that I know very well. And Martin Odegaard, or as Doc Brown would say, Marty! Martin Odegaard is an exceptional player, and without him, you guys are a much less dangerous team. Because you got to connect those lines, man. Not just the vertical lines, but the horizontal ones too. You gotta be able to get Martinelli out of his funk. You got to get Saka being able to do anything other than left foot drag, cut back, cross to the center back, left foot drag, cut back, cross to the center back.
You forgot to take in the corners.
That's all that he does. It's all that Saka does. But with Martin Odegaard, he is the dream weaver. He's the guy that makes it all happen. He is that catalyst. And without him, you guys are simply not the same team. Just like Real Madrid or Juventus when they had Zidane, when he wasn't playing, wouldn't be the same team. Back in the days when Luka Modric was one of the best midfielders in the world, when he didn't play, Real Madrid was lacking. Honestly, when Ozil wasn't playing for both Real Madrid and for Arsenal in his first couple of years, when he wasn't there, his team would be lacking. Odegaard, it's the same exact thing. It's like Palmer with Chelsea. There's no difference. You need your best player.
I think Jared's getting tired of you complimenting Arsenal.
Look, no, it's not about that. It's just a simple fact that Martin Odegaard was thrown in the bin by Real Madrid. And so for
he
me,
was benched like
he was thrown in the freaking bin.
I disagree, Jared.
He was thrown in the bin by why isn't he there? Why isn't he there?
He has to leave.
Arda Güler is on the bench right now, who had a really good Euros.
They binned him off. And if you're not good enough for me, if you're not good enough to play at Real Madrid, why would I want you at my club? They're the gold standard, right? They're the gold standard. When everybody
I'm sure every team would love to have a player like Martin Odegaard's creativity and decision-making in their team, Jared.
In the description,
Jared, this is an unbiased preview, Jared. You're supposed
in the description of Martin Odegaard, it says he's
I have been way too much Lee Gunner.
That's your problem. That's not a we problem. That's a you problem.
So that's an Arsenal fan that has the same opinion as me.
Please.
So
there's other channels available. My
Yes.
channel is obviously very different than that you
Dude,
just
Lee
mentioned.
Gunner doesn't even like English football anymore. Like, I don't care what
so I flip over to rants and bants, and he has the same exact opinion.
That's a Man United fan, Jared. What the hell do they know?
Well, they're not a Chelsea fan or an Arsenal fan, so they should have an unbiased opinion.
Also, when we talk about Declan Rice, I think Declan Rice is crucial for this game. He missed the game against Inter Milan, and we saw how we struggled to break down the lines. We struggled against a solid defensive display against Inter. You can say Arsenal seem to have a solid defense if our defenders keep their heads in check and don't get sent off. I don't think there's going to be red cards in this game, but I think our defense is stronger than Chelsea's defense. I think this game is going to be won in the midfield battle. Caicedo has to go up against the likes of Saliba and Gabriel, one of the strongest defensive partnerships in the Premier League. Havertz.
Jackson.
Jackson. Havertz return to Stamford Bridge. Will he get good reception? Hell no.
No.
It's not about him getting good reception. He's definitely going to get booed at the bridge. Chelsea fans can't stand him. Carefree Lewis, for example. And I have it on the bookies that Havertz will score at the bridge. It's inevitable. And you know it, Jared.
Is he going to play?
He will play. There was rumors that he was injured. Of course, he got hit in the head with a gushing head injury. And I think he's already had it stitched up. If he needs to wear a helmet and play. In the past, players like
that's what Jared's asking.
Players like Cesc Fabregas, they played for Arsenal with a broken leg, taking penalties, even when they had more serious injuries. I'm not encouraging them to play with an injury, but if you just stitch it up and come on, we need you because our attack is woeful at the moment, and there's no one really else available. Jesus, you could say, but I'd rather play Havertz than Jesus and not play Trossard as a 9. Moreno got ahead. Also clashed with Jan Sommer against Inter midweek. Keep in mind, Chelsea played yesterday, so they only have 2 days rest, and Arsenal have 3 days rest after traveling to Inter Milan at the San Siro. Chelsea played Noah's Ark yesterday. They won a thrilling 8-0. Some Arsenal fans got scared thinking Chelsea are going to do that against us. No fucking way. Noah's Ark was Noah's Ark was just made in 2017. It's a team that nobody's probably even heard of. If I don't Google one of their players in their lineup, I have no idea who's in their starting 11. But hats off to Chelsea, who had a dominant display for your B team. I'd say your B team because it was mostly your backup players that played. Tossin, good efforts to you. I think he got his first goal, if I'm not mistaken, for Chelsea in Conference League. And Mark Guayu scoring for Chelsea yesterday. A lot of goal scorers for them. Hopefully against Arsenal, this is not the case. Guys, I am going straight into it. Hit me off with your Chelsea strongest 11 based on player availability. Ryan, I'll start with you on this one.
Availability. So everybody that started on Wednesday is not going to start on Sunday.
Yeah,
such as the nature of Chelsea's rotation. Based on availability, Jackson, Palmer, Neto, Mudryk, Caicedo, Lavia, Reese, Cucurella. Based on availability, Badiashile and West Fofana. And then in goal, Sanchez. The thing is that it's not going to be that. Badiashile will not start. It'll be Colwell. And then on the wings, it'll be Madueke. But I love Mudryk. I think he's an awesome player.
He played a full 90 against Noah's Ark, so
he'll play like 15 against Arsenal. He will play.
They'll bring him off the bench. He did score against Arsenal in last year's game. Of course, he got a stupid penalty against I think it was Ramsdale who played. And we drew 2-2. Chelsea were 2-0 up, by the way, and Sanchez sold the game, giving Trossard the equalizer.
That was Raya.
Were shared.
Jared, that was Raya, wasn't it?
No, I think it was Ramsdale.
When Mudryk chipped the keeper?
I
Oh, it was
actually,
Raya. You're right. It was Raya.
It was right.
It was Raya. So we drew 2-2. The points were shared at the bridge. This season, guys, I am confident for this game. Now, Jared's probably thinking, how am I confident for this game when Arsenal have not scored a single goal since Liverpool at home, which was a bit ago, a game that I went to. Jared, I'm not going to this game. I wish I was. Plans changed. Or else you guarantee I'm bringing 3 points back to the Emirates. But, Jared, do you agree with Carlito's starting 11, or do you have a different one?
It's going to be the same starting 11 as last week in the Premier League. Hopefully, the only change that's made is Cucurella comes in for Gusto, and he plays left back, and James plays right back.
Yeah.
That's the only hope.
Is Reece James fully fit?
Yeah,
he is. The reason he's being used in the position he's being used, he's probably our best defender overall in the back line.
that is Shields pretty good.
Yeah, but he didn't start, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He won't be there. So of the people that's on the pitch, normally he's our best defender. Plus, he takes the role of deep line playmaker from that position as well.
And
that's why he's playing on the left and not the right, because they don't want him running up and down the pitch like Gusto has to do, because he goes into the 10 position and then has to run all the way back to right back. Well, for somebody with the history of hamstring injuries and muscle injuries, that's not something you want to do right away. Hopefully,
so he's just being eased back into the starting 11?
I think this is just the way they're going to play him. I think it'll be Cucurella going into the midfield.
Yeah, but the problem there is that means that you have to shift to the left, and that makes Fofana the center back and not Caldwell. And so I think he changes some things up, or he just puts out Gusto on the right back position and James at the left back position again.
Or we just don't play with an inverted wing back.
Well, but you guys seem to do that more recently now with the inverted.
Yeah, they want 4 guys in the midfield sometimes. I mean, that's
you're going to load up the midfield.
We're a possession team. You know,
I think the players to look out for, when I think of players who are a threat to Arsenal in this game, especially since you guys have home advantage. If Jadon Sancho does start this game, I'll be a bit more worried. But the players I'd say to look out for from Arsenal to Chelsea would be Sancho, Cole Palmer, who has been on absolute incredible form. Of course, the matchup and debate goes in the air of Palmer and Saka. Palmer has been doing well.
No, there's no debate.
Palmer has been doing well for club and country. Nicholas Jackson, contrary to critics, Nicholas Jackson has been finding the back of the net more this season than last season. And Moises Caicedo, I think he's had a good season so far. Chelsea's season so far, though, guys, if you win this game, you automatically go above us in the league. And we have an international break of 2 weeks of international football, watching England, Lee Carsley's ball. If Arsenal do not win this game, guys, I'm going into that international break depressed for 2 weeks. Well, I'll never hear the end of it from Chelsea fans. Now, Jared and Ryan, when we beat you guys at the Emirates 5-0 last season, I did not send you guys any messages. I did not banter you, and I took it easy on both of you guys.
She's lying. I have the text.
That is not true at all. I'm pretty sure I didn't banter you guys about it either. But this is a whole different team, Chelsea under Enzo Maresca, and I think it'll be a closer game. Matt, welcome to the stream. I was just going through Chelsea's predicted 11. Of course, Matt wearing the Chelsea merch. This is a big game for us. Chelsea are more in better form than us, but this is a must-win for Arsenal. And you can say in the London derby, some people will say form goes out the window, but I disagree with that.
I think Arsenal, you missed one player, by the way. You missed one player that's threatening, Pedro Neto.
Yeah,
for sure.
You guys have him to start.
Oh yeah, he's playing left wing against Ben White.
He's been starting. He's played 90 minutes 2 games in a row.
Yeah, he's going to be playing against Ben White. So is Ben White going to be able to keep up with his pace?
No.
Well, Ben White is one of the really good right back.
Center back playing like that.
I don't think we'll play Ben White in out of position anymore. I think Partey goes back into the midfield for us. That's just something I need to clarify. And keep in mind, when Partey is fit, he has been good for us so far this season. I don't want to jinx it. I'm praying he doesn't get injured. Matt Ball, welcome to the stream, my friend. hit me with your Chelsea starting 11 going into this game.
I'll say what I think it's going to be rather than what I'd want it to be, because it'll be completely different.
Matt, Sancho's injured, by the way.
Yeah, Sancho's out. Palmer I think he has one training session to train, which is tomorrow, from what Maresca said. And then Ryan gave us news that Sancho's unavailable. What's the injury, though, Ryan?
Hand cramp from too much Call of Duty.
No, it's probably a muscle strain, which means a partial tear of a muscle in the thigh.
I think it was in relation to the challenge from, was it Martinez in the United game?
Yeah, Man United.
Where
Martinez.
he should have got sent off, but there you go. I think it'll be Sanchez in goal, Cucurella left back, Colwill and Farner at centre back, James at right back, midfield, Lavia, Caicedo, probably still Palmer. I think Maresca will play Palmer if as long as he's got at least one working leg.
Yeah.
Neto on the left. Probably, unfortunately, Madueke on the right and Jackson up top.
Yeah.
That's not what
so
I would
all
do.
of you guys gave me the same midfield three, and all of you assume that Palmer will play. Considering there is one more training session tomorrow, if Palmer is unavailable for this game, last season Palmer ducked the Saka test. So hopefully this season, I don't want to hear excuses from you guys when we beat you fair and square at the Bridge. I hope you got on the podcast. You guys, first of all, congratulate me when we start the podcast on Sunday. Secondly, I hope I get a shout out. And lastly, thanks for inviting me on the podcast. It'll probably be my last time if we win. But
did
if the
she
points
just
are
say
shared,
duck the Saka test? Is that what I heard correctly? Duck the Saka?
that's right.
Have you watched your guy?
Fair.
Have you watched your guy lately? He stinks.
Okay, but Ryan, it doesn't help when the whole team
stinks.
hasn't been giving him service.
I'm sorry that your manager has turned into Mopey Dick. He's moping. His dick is moping.
World-class players don't need the service excuse.
That's not true.
That is true. How many? You got to
I never
make your
said
own
Saka's world
opportunities.
class, by the way. I never said Saka's world class.
But,
That's the delusion.
most of your
Yes, he
fan
has.
base,
Yes,
most
he
of the
has.
fan base do. I'm just.
But I
Melina,
never did the.
Melina, we know you're the one true sane in sense of Arsenal Football Club.
I
but
try to be sensible sometimes. Guys, we'll go straight into Arsenal Chelsea combined 11. Jared, I'm gonna go to you first on this one. You told me there's no other than 3 Arsenal players getting into this combined 11. Jared, before I start, this is an unbiased combined 11, and if I need to pull up the meeting of unbiased, I will gladly do so.
Look, let's be real. You have Saka, you have Gabriel, you have Saliba, and Raya. That's it.
And Declan Rice.
No, Declan Rice is not better than any of our midfielders.
So what formation are you playing?
4-2-3-1.
Okay, fine. So Raya in goal. Back four.
Back four will be James, Saliba, Gabriel, Cucurella.
Wow. Cucurella.
He's awesome.
Cucurella is the best left back right now in Europe.
Well, you didn't say that last season.
Well, we're talking about this season.
Hey, you guys wanted him out of your club last season.
Whoa. Again, this ain't French class. Don't we this. I did not hear that.
Ron does not like people talking about his wee.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's proprietary information and packaging.
Your
Come on
midfield 3, Ryan. I'm Jared.
Midfield 3? Oh, that's very, very easy right now. Caicedo, Lavia, and Cole Palmer.
You're putting Lavia ahead of Declan Rice. Are you crazy?
Absolutely.
Oh, are you kidding me? Yeah.
Are you all right? Do you need
help? Hold on. You said they had to be fit for the game to be put in their starting 11.
Yeah, Declan Rice is fine to play. He's going to train tomorrow. He'll be fine.
Yo, I'm just following the rules here.
Wait, hold on, Jared. That goes both ways. That goes both ways. You can't put Palmer in there as Palmer hasn't trained yet, too.
Yeah, but I know Palmer's going to start.
Maresca's
Well,
lying.
and I know
by the way.
Declan Rice is going to start.
And
How about
Declan
that?
Rice in his best day is not better than Lavia or Caicedo.
Oh,
I've
my God.
I've tried to tell y'all about this guy.
Jared, you need
He
to
is
give me your
a
dealer's number.
Molina, didn't you read Matt Law's column? Caicedo's now better than Declan Rice. You didn't read it? Oh man,
And
you
you
need to
want
read
me
it,
to
bro.
agree with Matt Law.
No, I won't. I don't even agree.
I'm
with
just
that
saying
one.
he wrote a column. I'm just saying.
But to me, Declan Rice is no different, other than he's bigger and stronger than Conor Gallagher or Mason Mount.
Oh my God! What?
They all went through to the academy at the same time and play like an 8 because they all wanted to be Frank Lampard. Declan Rice is a center back. Let's be correct.
He's played most of his time at West Ham as a center back. That's true.
He's a center back that's got converted in the midfield. And there is one of those already in the Premier League, and his name is John Stones. Okay, and Declan Rice is not as good as John Stones.
But John Stones doesn't play for Chelsea and doesn't play
But
for
I'm just saying, I put Declan Rice in the midfield beneath John Stones in the midfield.
Fair play. John Stones is one of the best players in the league currently, if he's on form and available.
Awesome. Yeah.
He's currently injured though.
And to me, is he a 6 or an 8? Because your best 6 in your whole squad is Thomas Partey.
Yeah, when he's available and not injured.
Yeah, but he is your best 6. So if Declan Rice is not even your best 6 in the squad, then you're thinking.
You didn't give me your front 3. I'm guessing it's Saka, Neto, and Jackson.
Saka, Neto, and Jackson. Yeah.
How did I know that?
Well, you're going to put Martinelli in there, the way he's been playing this year.
No,
you can put 29 in there.
I'm not putting Martinelli or Trossard, and with all due respect, I'm not putting Havertz in there.
Yeah.
I just think when we're going, I'll give you guys my combined 11 once. I'll wait till Ryan and Matt Ball are done. I'll go last. It's 3 Chelsea fans against 1, so I'll give you guys the opportunity to have your say. Ryan, over to you. Your combined 11, unbiased, please, for this game.
Raya. Your 2 center backs, Reese, Mark Cucurella. In the midfield, I'm going to treat Palmer as a right wing. So I'm going to go with Lavia, Caicedo, and Martin Odegaard.
Oh, my God.
And on the right wing.
That midfield stinks.
Okay, so we got Caicedo, we got Lavia, and we got Martin Odegaard, right? So on this right wing, right, there's this English player with a really shitty haircut.
Hey,
that is one of the coolest guys in football, and it happens to maybe be the best player in the world.
What?
So at right wing,
Over
we're gonna go with Cole Palmer. We're gonna
go
go with Cole Palmer at right wing, and then at the left wing, well, I ain't going to go with Fart and Smelly, so I'm going to go with Mudryk. And then up top, I'm going to go with...
Mudryk can't even play. It's based on player availability. Mudryk played 90 against Noah's Ark.
He is certainly a red-blooded Ukrainian that can walk and chew gum and run at the same time.
That has no end product. Anyway,
up top, I'm going to go with Jackson.
So now is my lineup more unbiased than his?
100%, Jared. I can't believe the stuff that's come out of Carlito's mouth.
You know, I was thinking Pedro Neto at right wing, but I was like, I think I'm gonna go with Palmer. Then I was also thinking, maybe Tyreek George could go with right wing.
You're taking the piss.
And then I was like, maybe if Martinelli or Gabriel Jesus are healthy, they might be able to go to right wing. But no, I'm gonna go with Cole Palmer because I can't think of anybody else. Considering there's one right wing at Arsenal that no longer dribbles. He just drags, cut back, cross to the center back on the other team. And he did that 80 million times.
I can't wait to watch this on replay. I can't wait to watch this on replay after this guy scores against you.
Hold on. Let me say it one more time. Drag, cut back, cross it to the
He probably will score against us because we have an awful defense and we'll give you chances. So
Bag.
that's
Cut
not
back.
hard.
Well, I do think your midfield makes up for your defense, though, Jared. That's one thing I will say. Your midfield is solid, and Sanchez can be suspect, like we saw last season in the fixture at the Bridge. Matt, over to you. Your combined 11, please. You've heard the other two clowns on here give their opinion,
fraud.
and over to you.
Well, I was considering being even more biased than Carlito was, but I'm going to be a bit more fairer. In goal, anyone but a Chelsea goalkeeper. I mean, even if Raya's not available, whoever your academy goalkeeper is probably better than Sanchez. I'd go with the same back four as everyone else has said so far.
So Gabriel and Saliba.
Yeah, I will put Rice in midfield. I'm going to be fair with that. But he is partner next to Caicedo and Palmer. There's no doubt about that. Don't want to hear Martin Odegaard. Good player, but he's not a Palmer. On the left, Pedro Neto. On the right, Saka, because I'm not going to have that. I'm not going to put that.
You stink,
man. Up front, we're going to go with the best forward out of these two teams, and that is not the number 29 who can only score on one big stage, and that's it. That's going to be Nicholas Jackson up front.
Well, he did score in the training session we had against you guys last season at the Bridge.
Oh, yes, he did.
Of course, it was a different manager, so anyone could have scored against you guys then. Chelsea are in a new era, I heard, this season under Maresca.
Project.
Oh, let me before we go into this Chelsea
process.
Let me just remind you of in Chelsea's last 4 years or whatever, in our horrible period of time.
Oh God, here comes the trophy.
We've won more trophies than you have
here we go.
in your golden generation of Arteta. You've won an FA Cup.
Where's your gold trophy?
Whoop-de-doo.
Where's
an FA Cup, by the way, that you should have never won in the first place.
We are not talking about Baku on here. How dare you, Matt Ball? We are not talking about
I remember Ty, who says salute to all the NHS workers and to all the to all the COVID people, Black Lives Matter. Ty, he said he was very, very happy that Christian Pulisic blew his hamstring. And on video, he was celebrating it. So, there's that.
Yeah.
So I think
your only trophy in the Arteta era is a Anthony Taylor trophy.
FA Cup and a Charity Shield.
We don't care about pre-season
the league
trophies.
isn't over right
Let's be
now.
honest.
The league, we're only in game week 10, Matthew. We have a long way to go this season. Chelsea, if they win, rightfully so, you guys will be above us as it stands in the league. And we head to an international break for 2 weeks of England football, Lee Carsley, before Tuchel takes over in 2025. Former Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel at the wheel. Guys, I want to talk about, we kind of already touched upon it already, Chelsea's season so far. Jared.
I didn't get your combined 11.
Oh, yeah. You want my combined 11? Really?
Yeah.
After
you started it.
All right. So my combined 11, I'll go back to that tab. My combined 11 would be Raya, Cucurella, Levy Colwell, Saliba, Reece James. I'm being unbiased. Caicedo, Rice, Palmer, Bukayo Saka, who Ryan refused to mention. That's right, Bukayo Saka, Cole Palmer in the midfield with Rice and Caicedo, Saka, Nicholas Jackson, and Pedro Neto. That's my unbiased Chelsea 11, combined 11, 4-2-3-1.
You have 4 people in there.
I can't believe Melina actually is the only one that rates Colwell in this debate.
Colwell has been unreal this season, and in my opinion, very underrated at Chelsea. Jared can't stand him, but I think there's still a player in there. Yes, I'm the same person that defended Conor Gallagher at Chelsea. He is doing well at Atletico. Sorry, he is doing well at Atletico, Ryan. I think
he scored 1 goal and then he faded into Bolivian.
That's not true. He's been playing well. Jackson up top, he's obviously better than Kai Havertz. We're just being real here. And Saka hasn't really been the best this season so far, but he does start at right wing for me. And Neto left wing ahead of Martinelli and Trossard. I think this game in particular, Trossard holds bench for me. And sometimes it's not a bad thing to have a player holding bench. Lavia hasn't played many games, so as a result, I'm starting Declan Rice ahead of Lavia and Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez, I guess, as you guys saw, he found his level against Noah's Ark.
Yep.
And it's just a shame. I think Chelsea paid a lot of money for a bench player who's overrated.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that people actually need to learn football before they say some stupidness like he's overrated. He won Argentina the World Cup. He won Argentina the World Cup.
I have participated in this game for 33 years.
That's for country.
Okay, but you can't say he's not overrated.
Enzo Fernandez is overrated.
Okay, watch him go to Real Madrid and win them all sorts of
trophies. You asked me to learn football.
Nearly
I learned football.
million that you paid for him, Jared. Come on.
So it's just money. I'm sure you've overpaid for something, probably a purse or a pair of shoes.
Well, we could just mention Nicolas Pepe.
I was just about to talk about the Nicolas Pepe, 72 million for a bum. Thank God he's no longer.
I still remember Arsenal fans saying that he come from Lille, so he's just like Eden Hazard.
Yeah, because everybody saw compilations of Nicolas Pepe and thought he's gonna be the next thing since sliced bread. Going into this game, I want to ask you guys, how's Chelsea gonna tactically handle Arsenal in this game? Let's just assume, for context-wise, Palmer does start and Odegaard starts alongside Declan Rice and Kai Havertz. If anyone, feel free, it's open panel now. Whoever wants to go first. How is Chelsea going to tactically set up against Arsenal in this game? You guys have home advantage, so hit me with it.
I don't think home advantage matters.
Well,
exceptionally, or
not at Chelsea. No, the fans suck.
Fatour might hear that.
I don't care.
To be fair, we prefer to play away from home. We always have.
Yeah, the home field advantage, there is none at Stamford Bridge.
It would help if we had more than just Fatour chanting.
Yeah, Chelsea haven't beat us since 2018 head-to-head wise.
So it depends if Gusto starts or Cucurella starts. It changes our tactics quite a bit, depending on which one of those start. If Gusto starts, Gusto is going to be pushed into the 10 position. Cole Palmer is going to be given the free roll again. I think that's terrible, especially if he's carrying a knock, because you're asking him to run the entire offense while carrying a knock.
By himself, yeah.
Yeah, because, unless Reece James is going to ping a ball, there's nobody else is going to do that. It'd be different if you had Sancho on the pitch, who can be can be used as a playmaker. So if that happens, you're going to see pretty much what you saw against United. Hopefully he does play Cucurella. In that case, the tactics change, because you're now going to see Rice. You're going to see James sit back a little bit more, or he might push them up a little bit higher, both up a little bit higher, because you do have the platform there of Caicedo and Lavia to take some of the pressure off of the back two, who, again, are just awful. They're awful football. No one-on-one defending at all. And look, you don't have to worry about creating anything. We will give you 2 chances a half.
I think you're saying that because of your defenders.
Yes.
Your defenders and Sanchez.
Yes, we will give you chances. We gave, how many chances did we give United in the second half?
Man United, yeah, but they can't finish their dinner. Same thing like us, Jared.
Yeah, that's what if you do, you'll win. If you don't, you're not going to win.
Can I just say, against the Man United game, Ryan, I understand you're short for time. Against the Man United game, guys, you just as much had chances in the first half, like Man United did, but you guys failed to convert it in the back of the net. And I should be the last one talking about taking your chances, because my team hasn't done that since the Liverpool game, which has been nearly 3 weeks ago now, 3 game weeks ago. Quite pathetic. Our away form has been really precarious right now, and not looking good. But I do think this is a game where Arsenal will be up for it and bounce back.
Well, apparently, according to Arteta, you're already going to beat us before you've even played.
Well, I did hear that. It's already got Matt rattled, which I love.
What did he say?
He
He said
basically
we're gonna
said
beat
that
you guys.
he was basically like, if we play like we did against, who did you play last?
Inter Milan.
Inter, where they
If
lost.
we play
The
like
second
that,
half.
we'll beat Chelsea easy.
Inter is not as good as Chelsea.
Yeah. So if I was at Zabreska, all I'm doing is I'm just playing that clip in the dressing room and just saying nothing.
Our tactics is going to be one of the problems that we've run into over the last 3 weeks is Jadon Sancho not playing.
Yeah.
Sancho's a very good player, but more than that,
very creative.
Yeah, we've got so many fast wingers that it's nice to have somebody that's a little different. Like Madueke, Neto, and Mudryk are 3 of the maybe 10 fastest players in the Premier League, and they all play for Chelsea.
What about the finishing, though?
Mudryk has gotten much better finishing recently. But Sancho's totally different. Sancho likes to cut inside. He likes to find a pass.
He's an explosive player.
He's a patient player, and he's thoughtful in the way that he plays. It's not always all about one-on-ones. It's about making the right pass at the right time in the final third.
He knows how to pick a really good pass.
And it's something that we've been totally missing, and that's one of the reasons why Palmer's been more or less doing it himself. Now, if Sancho plays even a little bit tomorrow, it'll make everybody else better. Otherwise, we'll play a more direct game. We'll play possession until we see an opportunity to play either Madueke or.
So you'll try to get us on the counterattack, basically.
We're not really a counterattacking team, but if the moment calls for it, yeah, definitely. Like what we did against Newcastle, we certainly have the horses for it.
I think y'all will play on the counter. I think you'll sit back and play.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think we'll sit back.
You don't think you're going to sit back? I mean, that's been the.
The last 2 games against Newcastle, we were really poor. So please just disregard that game entirely. But in this game, I think we'll go for it. But I do think it'll be a close game. And with that being said, just because we're a bit short for time, score predictions for this game. From what I've heard so far in this preview, you Chelsea fans are quite confident. A little bit of you are doubtful on your goalkeeper Sanchez and your defense. I think there are room for errors in terms of your defense that we can take advantage of, especially depending on who starts. And if Sancho is a doubt and Palmer doesn't play, I think it's going to be more comfortable for us. Should I say we might not even have to get out of first gear? I'd be lying because we really need Martin Odegaard in terms of his creativity. Ryan, what do you think the score? I know you don't do predictions, so it's horrible for me to ask you this, but do you think you guys are going to get all 3 points at home in this game?
I don't know.
Well, great, Ryan. That's a wonderful answer.
I mean, he's not the best color commentator in the game for nothing.
I certainly am. I just don't do prediction radio because if I knew, I would bet the house, literally. All right,
I mean, to be fair, with Carlito, he's a bit scared because the last time he did a big prediction was he said Cole Palmer was going to be crap and nothing for Chelsea.
And he said Cole Palmer's haircut is terrible, and he judged him.
That wasn't a prediction.
I mean, that
was a realization.
That's not wrong, to be fair.
All right, I gotta go.
We'll allow Carlito on that one.
Yeah, if you want me to go up next, it's
North Bank podcast.
Yeah, it's hard to predict because we don't know exactly who's fit and who's not, right? The same thing that you were saying about Palmer. If Rice doesn't start in your midfield, you got issues.
Yeah.
So if Rice doesn't
play Jorginho or Ethan Moneri, and I don't want to see Trossard in midfield.
What about Moreno?
Sorry, who?
Mikel Moreno.
I don't know who that is, Jared.
Oh, okay. I don't think
moving on swiftly.
Again, that's why it's hard to predict because you don't know exactly who's fit and who's not.
Yeah.
And it's going to make a big difference.
Yeah, sure.
And it's also going to depend on who scores first because if you score first, you're going to sit back. You're going to park the bus.
We always do that, Jared. Like against Liverpool, I don't know if you watched our game.
I did.
We're 2-0 up and we sit back. We let Liverpool get back into gear and it goes tits up from there with our third goal being disallowed for whatever reason. Stupid Anthony Taylor. For once, you Chelsea fans, I can relate with you guys. and how many times you guys warned me about Anthony Taylor.
I saw the game. Look, he was playing the advantage. There was a foul committed. He played the advantage, and when there was no
But I
advantage,
didn't
he
hear
blew
the
the whistle.
blown, and I was at the game.
Well, I saw him blow the whistle before Kai Havertz even touched the ball. Plus, Kai Havertz handball.
So why was no Liverpool players questioning it then, Jared?
Well, because they don't. You think footballers actually know the rules of the game?
They would have been, if it was the same thing against them, they would have been all up in arms for it.
Sure. Absolutely, they would have been. But footballers are not there because they're geniuses and they study the rules and the laws of the game. They're there because they can play football.
So, Jared, if you had to give a score prediction for this game, I know you're saying it's hard because we don't really know who's available. The availability of Sancho is in doubt at the moment. Ryan even ruled him out. So Cole Palmer, I think he'll play. I think he'll start. And I also think Neto will play for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's someone also we need to look out for. Yes, he is an injury-prone player, but I think for Chelsea, he's been good so far. And Jackson and Caicedo. I wouldn't say Lavia so much as a threat, but these four definitely for me are a threat in this game. Now, Ryan, Jared, if you had to pick a score prediction for this game, what would you say this game ends in?
If you're gonna put electrified nipple clamps on me and ask me for a score prediction, I'll have to give you one. I'll go 3-1 to Chelsea.
What?
3-1 to the Chelsea.
Wow, you're very bold.
Well, because I don't think Rice is going to play.
Okay.
And I think Odegaard's limited still.
Just going back to the start of this preview, both Ryan and Jared said if Rice plays, and they said this on live air, stomp on his foot for the entire game and call it dark arts.
That's like, yeah, right? That's how it goes.
Big up to Srinath and big up to Tyrone. Hope you're well. A lot of Chelsea fans in here. It almost looks like a Chelsea channel. Matt, over to you. Matt, I think you're more confident than both Jared and Ryan going into this game. Of course, against Arsenal, you guys can't stand us. The feelings are mutual, though. Hopefully, Arsenal do come out on top because if we don't catch up closer to Liverpool and if we don't win this game, I'll say it right on here, our title hopes are over if we can't beat Chelsea at the Bridge.
I mean, your title hopes are over already anyway.
I disagree.
And I'd argue your title hopes are over both in men's and the women's. So you just got a dead football club.
Don't leave the women's alone.
but we're gonna get into score prediction. I've actually got a bit of false confidence that I've posted on here because I don't think we're gonna win. I think the big thing we haven't discussed, which I am in absolute fear about, is any time Arsenal get a corner. I just do not have any confidence.
Bournemouth beat us on set pieces at our own game.
We are one of the worst teams in terms of defending any cross
you can't defend
or set
pieces.
Whoever is in goal or in the defence. And every time I've seen Gabriel and Saliba bullying players at corners, I'm just like, yeah. I would much rather Sanchez just parry the ball out in front in the penalty area because Havertz is probably going to miss it from 6 yards. I'd rather not get a corner at all in the game. But I think it's going to be a very chaotic game, and I think it's going to be 3 to Arsenal.
I think the only taller Chelsea defender, I would say, is Cucurella. If he's playing, I think he's the only one probably to try to defend a set piece. Colwell, not really that tall. And Reece James always fails the Martinelli test. I don't think Martinelli will start this game. Personally, I'm not sure what Arteta is going to do. I'll give you guys my Arsenal 11, which I have yet to do. Matt isn't confident, or as he said, false confidence going into this game, which I'm quite shocked about. Usually these guys love to give it bold, like Jared went 3-1 Chelsea. Jared, I am going to find you at full time when we win, and I'll be here. I know none of you guys hide, which is why I always get you guys whenever we have a matchup. You guys are honest and don't go missing at full time. Likewise, if we lose, I'll be here, and I'll be here for the grilling session on the pod after the game. Srinath, big up to you. Thank you for the donation. He says, all my favorites on the panel, big up to y'all. May the best man bleeding blue win, but still always love being here. Srinath, my fellow Canadian, I thought I had more respect for you, but it looks like the blue side of you is taking over. And big up to you, Moss. Graham says, my view of how to beat Chelsea is a high counter press. They are not great at playing out. I think we will go man to man. I also think it will be a close game, Graham. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope to hear your tactical breakdown of this game after the game's done, and hopefully it's with a positive result. Matt, you didn't give me an actual score prediction. I know you said it's a false positive.
3-2 Arsenal.
Wow, 5-goal game, really?
Yeah, I think Chelsea will score first. Arsenal will go into a massive panic, and it will just be an end-to-end basketball type match.
I think it'll be a closer knit than that, but I have 2 score predictions, but I'm just going to give you guys one. I was more confident before this preview because I thought Palmer and Sancho will not play. I knew Sancho would not play, and I kept telling Ryan, I don't think Sancho's going to play. He's probably too busy playing Call of Duty. But my score prediction for this game is a 2-1 Arsenal win. I think this is going to be a good game for us to bounce back before the international break, get our gears going again. And my Arsenal 11 for this game is Raya in goal, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko. I'd play over Timber. Yeah. Zinchenko I'm playing over Timber because I think he has more ability to defend. Timber is very good, but I would rest him in this game, bring him off the bench. Partey, Rice, Odegaard midfield. No doubt about it. If Odegaard is available, play your strongest midfield 3, just like Moss said in the chat. Play your strongest players available. None of this resting Odegaard. Resting him for what? Yes, I know he coming back from a 2-month injury, but it's time we play him. If he can make the bench for Inter, he's fit enough to start. So Rice, Partey, Odegaard midfield for me, and then the front 3 picks itself: Saka, Kai Havertz, and Martinelli. Sterling is not available to play in this game due to parent club loan.
Benefit for you guys.
I think I was just about to say that. I think that's a blessing in disguise, if I'm not being mistaken. Sterling, I just think he hasn't found the groove yet, or he's shot for confidence.
I think
Moss says, is Palmer ready? I think Palmer will train tomorrow. According to Enzo Maresca, he's in contention to train tomorrow. And if he trains tomorrow, then he's fit to start for me. I think Maresca is hiding the availability of Enzo. Like Jared said, Dark Arts FC.
Yeah. The thing I would say about your lineup is if you have 2 players in the midfield that are not 100%, it's going to be a long
Rice
day.
and Odegaard, yeah.
Especially when you've got Caicedo and Lavia, who, unlike Enzo, can actually run around the pitch.
And they go into challenges hard.
We did talk about Enzo earlier in the stream, Matt. I said against Noah's Ark, he finally found his level. And I did say that he is overrated, in my opinion. Jared disagreed with me, which is fine. You know, everybody has their difference of opinion. I don't think he's been influential for you guys this season. Even ever since you signed him, I don't think he's been quality or anywhere near worth the price tag. I think a lot of the price tag has got to him, the pressure. Jared, maybe you're right. Maybe at a Real Madrid, he could do really well at a Galactico team, Real Madrid or Barca. Yeah, but look at Barcelona
maybe
right now.
outside of the physical Premier League, he'll do all right.
Yeah, and it's less fast-paced league in La Liga or in Serie A.
Oh, Serie A is made for Enzo Fernandez. He can just not have to deal with the speed of the game so much. He can spray passes wherever he needs to. But no one can afford him in Serie A, so he'll just have to go to La Liga.
Yeah,
Tyrone is going for a Chelsea win also.
In.
Yeah, so I was just asking Jared about that. Jared said Enzo would go to Real Madrid, and I said, okay, are you expecting Tchouaméni, Enzo's player plus cash swap deal? And he said he wasn't sure. I said, what about Florian Wirtz? Florian Wirtz is a really good player at Leverkusen. Looks like Liverpool are eyeing him, though, or even Man City. But why would people want to go to City if they're unsure about City's future?
I don't think we need Wirtz. I think even with Tchouaméni, the problem is you've got Andre Santos doing really well at Strasbourg. So it depends on how it could be a thing of Enzo just goes. Santos fits right in.
You can recall Santos from Strasbourg, right?
He won't. They won't recall him.
I think he'll stay there, but because I think we've got enough players as it is. But I think next season will be the season I think he comes in. I think people will be shocked with how good this kid is.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal should be all
have
over. Sorry, Arsenal should be all over that to Tchouaméni signing if he's available. That's a player we would need. But even Gyökeres, I know a lot of people really raving about Gyökeres in Sporting. Some people saying, "Oh, he's doing it in Sporting. Can he do it in the Premier League?" But Arsenal need a lethal forward, maybe the likes of Alexander Isak. What do you guys think of Isak so far this season for Newcastle?
When he's fit.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem with Gyökeres is Barcelona might come in for him. If Barcelona comes in for him, he's not leaving the Iberian Peninsula. Why would you leave a beautiful place to live
country
and come to gloomy England? Right? Not going to do that.
I just think also the problem with Gyökeres as well is you look at the way Amorim plays, and the whole system is based into getting as much service to Gyökeres as much as possible.
Yeah.
Which is why, if he went to Man United, I think he flops because he's not going to get next to no service. I don't think Mikel Arteta is going to build his squad around Gyökeres. You're building it around Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, Rice. I don't think Havertz gets a lot of service. I just don't see him yet as a guy who can, again, deal without service. And I think especially at Chelsea, that could also be a problem because I think Jackson. The reason why people really underrate Jackson is because Jackson can hold up the ball really well, link up, and he can also just create opportunities for himself, whether it's by running in from behind, actually just linking up with players when you don't expect it. He
creates his own chances too.
Yeah, and I just think if he's just, I mean, he's more clinical this year, but if he's just a tinsy-wincy bit more clinical, we'd be talking about him, maybe not in the conversation of Haaland, but in the conversation as one of the best strikers in the league.
Yeah, well, Haaland, ever since he told certain manager to be humble, he hasn't seen the back of the net for a few game weeks now. And long may that continue, rightfully so.
He's not getting service.
Well, without Kevin De Bruyne, I don't think he's not getting anything. I know Kevin De Bruyne is fit now and back on the bench, but we'll see how they do against Bournemouth. I think they're playing Bournemouth, right, this weekend?
Don't make me lie. It could be.
I think they're playing Bournemouth, yeah.
They play Bournemouth, I don't think they pick up any points. I think it's going to draw.
Didn't City play Bournemouth? No. Yeah, they played Bournemouth last time.
They already played Bournemouth. Is it Ipswich?
They lost.
Oh, no, Tottenham playing Ipswich. I forgot who they're playing this weekend.
Man City is playing Brighton. At Brighton.
Oh, Brighton.
That's going to be a difficult game.
Oh, Foden has a good record against Brighton, though. I know he played.
I haven't seen Foden for like months.
Foden, yeah.
But
he's not scored for a while, and then Tottenham playing Ipswich. Just
Tottenham's
my score prediction for against Ipswich, really?
Oh, I honestly, Ipswich are a team I've looked. I don't know how they haven't got a first win yet because they've been so close yet so far. I mean, like, they've got some weird results. Like they drew 0-0 against Villa, which is like you look at that.
They drew to Leicester too, right?
Well, yeah, they were 1-0 up, and then Calvin Phillips got sent off, and then just flopped it. And then they had so many weird. Apart from the results against Everton and West Ham, which were a bit crap, I think they've done all right. But I think they'll do it. I think Tottenham are crap. So I mean, they were crap against Galatasaray.
Well, they lost in the Europa League just yesterday to Galatasaray.
Yeah,
Victor Osimhen had a brace.
They were rubbish.
Victor Osimhen, just a nudge.
He's been awful this year. But he plays Tottenham, and we all know that Tottenham gets battered everywhere they go. So
I'm glad you can agree on that, Jared.
So, no, Victor Osimhen is another person. You just have to feed him the ball like 15 times a game to get 2 goals. So that's not how we play.
And he's on really high wages.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the wages because that's the wages at Napoli.
Before, yeah.
He wouldn't get those wages at Chelsea, and Chelsea really don't want him. They're looking at Nick Jackson being the guy.
The main striker.
And so they're looking to bring in a different profile striker, right? An in-the-box finisher that's not going to sit there and pine away for starting minutes every game.
Yeah,
so
as a backup.
I think they're really looking at, I've heard Liam Delap from Ipswich. And if they go down, he's in the box striker, right? It's not going to cost you an arm and leg.
Good for Ipswich, but just like Matt said earlier, Ipswich, some games are leading and they just throw the game away. It's almost like Arsenal when they go a goal up and they throw the game away.
He's going to be really cheap when they get relegated.
Yeah, I don't think they survive as well.
No, they don't. I don't think either. They don't have to score enough goals. But Delap is somebody of that, a different profile striker. You don't have to pay an arm and a leg. He'll fit in the squad, know his place.
And he's happy to be a bench player.
There you go. If you bring in a Yorkis or an Osimhen, you're changing your whole system because those guys have to be fed the ball the entire game. So even Arteta's system, he plays kind of the Pep system offensively. Yeah. He doesn't want that type of striker where you have to just change up everything you're doing.
I don't think we were even linked to him in the window. Any rumors of links to him, I think it was just journalists looking for an extra $1 or $2 under their belt.
And it still sticks with me that this guy was at Brighton, who had a wonderful sporting directors. We've got a couple of them.
Yeah.
And scouts and everything else. They find all this talent, and they chose Evan Ferguson over Victor Yorkis. The man got binned off for freaking Evan Ferguson. So what did they see and what do they know that nobody else sees or knows?
Yeah, Ferguson and Joao Pedro have been having a good season so far for Brighton.
Because I think that if you don't feed this man the ball, he goes missing.
Yeah, and that's not good.
No.
We already have that problem before with Nketiah, where Nketiah wasn't really doing much in the final third. Thankfully, he's at Palace now, and I just hope we turn our season around, beating Chelsea, going into the international break with a win, and also bragging rights for me against you guys would be great. Guys, my score prediction for this game is quite close. I do think it's going to be an end-to-end game. Just like Graham said earlier, I think Chelsea, the easiest way to go at them is going man-to-man, and how to beat Chelsea is a high counter press. 100%, I agree with you. Chelsea are not good at defending set pieces, and that's one thing we were good at. Hopefully we can bring that back again. My score prediction for this game is 2-1 Arsenal away win at the Bridge. Hopefully no more casualties to Arsenal players or Chelsea players, rightfully so. I do think this is going to be a game that both teams are up for it. I hope my players turn up, and hopefully our attack gets service from our midfield. No disrespect to Thomas Partey. I think he's had a good season so far based on his availability. Sometimes when our whole team isn't performing, like the Inter Milan game, the second half, I think some of our players were poor, but it wasn't an awful game like some people made it out to be. I think this is going to be a good matchup, and I hope to see you guys on the pod after the game on Sunday. Matt and Jared and Ryan, all three friends of mine, they do a podcast for Chelsea called Blue Coat Project. It is on Spotify and Apple Music. It's in the description of my video if you guys want to subscribe and follow their podcast. They even cover the women's games, if I'm not mistaken, Matt. Some Chelsea women's content they do talk about. And I'll be on there Sunday after the game. Matt, do you want us to shout out your socials first? And Ryan, thank you for joining us earlier, as well as Uncle Jared.
Yeah, I mean, socials at MattJBall98. Obviously, you can see me on Blue Co Project Podcast, and I'm also doing membership videos on Chelsea Perspective, so follow there as well if you want to.
Coachella, yes.
And I just would like to say, if we do win on Sunday, I won't be Uncle Jesters, I'll be Daddy Jesters.
Oh, God. Jared, you have no filter
whatsoever. I will say, for the guys that do listen to the Blue Co Project podcast, I'm officially overruling Carlito. If we win on Sunday, Jess is allowed to make as many dad jokes as he bloody well wants.
Oh, God. That's going to be a horrible podcast episode.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I think I'm the only Arsenal fan on there so far for Sunday's pod. I think it's been 2 seasons since I've last been on the podcast. against Chelsea at the Bridge. I think we even drew that game as well. But it'll be good on Sunday. I'm up for this game. Arsenal have some tough fixtures coming up after the international break. We have Forest at home, Sporting Lisbon away in the Champions League, and then West Ham away at the London Stadium, with hopefully Lopetegui still has the job by then. Uncle Jester's over to you. If you want to shout any of your socials, be my guest.
Oh, you can just follow me on Twitter at Uncle Jester's. I don't have a channel really anymore because I work too much on the computer as it is. So, you know, it is what it is. We just do a podcast, follow the podcast. It's a lot of banter. It's not just lovey-dovey for Chelsea. Believe me, when we played horribly, it's
I mean, it's to be fair, it's not even lovey-dovey between us. I mean, the last two pods have been like a boxing match between Carlito and Jesters, mainly over Enzo Fernandez. So I'm sure Sunday will be round 3, the big trilogy. So Molina can judge who wins that.
I'm also going 2-1 to the Arsenal. I don't know who's going to score for us, but I think Palmer or Jackson will score for Chelsea. Hopefully Sanchez makes another mistake and makes it easier for us, light work. But I don't think this is going to be as light work as some people may think. A lot of people are confident going into this game. Some people aren't based on our form. Thank you to Matt, Ryan, and Jared for joining me today, giving me your time. I'll see you guys Sunday for the pod after the game. May the best team win, hopefully Arsenal. And come on, you Gunners. I'll see you all in the next one. Adios.